Blue Moon Red Wine. Lucy wrote her first Substack, which is on bmrw.substack.com. Everybody go and sign up and subscribe, even though she said she doesn't like to write. And she realized how much it frustrates the hell out of her. I thought this was still an awesome article. So, good on you for putting this out there. Love to get this on the Indie News Network Substack also. We can work on doing that when you get a chance. But
yeah,
I thought that it was really important that we go through it because not enough people are paying attention necessarily
to
Webb
talking a bit about this, right?
Yes.
Like as well. Yeah.
He seems sort of the AOC of Chile. Yeah, this is because he's miles away from Chile, but because the Overton window of American politics, regardless of individual tastes or preferences, is so far to the right of Boric that even moderate left-leaning candidates in other countries are far to the left and far more anti-imperialist than any fake radical that could be elected possibly in the United States without sweeping reforms and fundamental changes to the Constitution. Great stuff. I mean, this is... You need to write more, Lucy, not less. We need more of this. We need more of this. Okay, even if you can transcribe it or
she needs a dictator, right?
Dictate exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is if you don't have to write it, just say it because this is
dictate this letter for me.
We need more, and she probably went to sleep or fell asleep, and we'll clip it up later for her so she can check this out. And this is a lot of fun. Again, really appreciate her doing that. And she wanted to do a show about it, and I'm like, why don't you write about it? She's like, you know what? Maybe I will. Like, yeah, go do that. Go do that. So, okay, again, the Overton window is so far to the right. The fake radical left, represented by members of the squad, okay, is fully supportive of aggressive policy by design, willing to advertise to the Democratic Party, make their brutal human rights abuses more palatable to their supporters by putting a kind face on American empire and ignoring foreign affairs. Yes, they do. So, again, this is really good. I don't want to have to go through the whole thing because it is not short. I would call it mid-length, which is really good. Oh, good. Spell check, yes.
Any more major tweets in there?
There is a Benjamin Norton tweet in there. Okay. Yeah. And again, Lucy, she gave me a couple of talking points as far as what she wanted to make sure that I covered there. I wanted to tie in between the fact that, student debt wise, and they were able to, and she also pointed out here that they were able to protest and get this kind of radical change partly because their students aren't racked with student debt potentially.
Right. Yeah.
But also, if I can find, where's our chat? Now I lost it, of course. Here it is. No, where is it? Oh no, I lost it. Okay.
You lost it?
Yeah, I lost
What'd
it.
You lose?
It was a chat where she gave me all my talking points. Of course. Oh, it's on Twitter.
Oh.
Here we go. So
Ginkgo biloba didn't do much.
No, that wasn't the Ginkgo biloba.
No.
Yeah, let's put this in the chat so everybody can.
They were racked with debt, same as the U.S.
The students were.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
They were racked with debt, same as the U.S., but they turned it into a protest to change the Constitution.
There you go.
Nice.
Typing that in the chat. You guys can all go there and check that out.
Yeah.
Again, even Bernie Sanders, the most ethical, he still, votes for the war in Afghanistan. What happens after this in the psyche of American leftists?
U.S. system, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until this, and then they got free college recently. So,
okay. Moderate left. The most that the moderate left has to gain in Chile through extreme left language is alliance with other leftist nations. However, Chile maintains trade with all these nations regardless and is already a member of Mercosur. Chile's real problem is navigating the fine balance between having a left-leaning government and advocating the brutal reality of possible American intervention, which they already were queuing up. I think the day that Boric got elected. Okay, which is a task that will not be made easier by being an outward radical. Right, like AMLO or even, Lula. And these are people that I think they want to align with. But they also want to keep the CIA essentially out of country. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. Again, while it might sound a bit simplistic to ideological socialists, Lucy says she would venture to say that Chile, is not the country that really needs to think about having an anti-imperialist government. That's, the work cannot be pushed to satellite nations of the empire. It's work that has to be done here. Mm-hmm. Yes, we must. So how do we manage to fight imperialism, neoliberalism, manage debt crisis, and other problems without tone policing or expecting satellite nations to be radical enough to do this work for us? Okay. So Chile is one of the better blueprints. That's really interesting. Here we go. And again, this is why everyone should give this a read, because I'm skimming through it, but we want everyone to really, really absorb it. And I'm sure Lucy's probably going to do a show about it at some point.
Eventually, we'll get Caitlin Johnstone's husband to do some reads.
That'd be awesome. He's great.
Yeah.
Under Pinochet's dictatorial regime in the 70s and 80s, the Chicago Boys conducted the farthest-reaching economic revolution in the history of Chile. Their pro-business policies had an overwhelming impact that can be seen today in nearly every area of social life. See, I didn't know anything about this. Healthcare, pension system, and more. So Chicago Boys' legacy is a controversial issue in Chile. On the one hand, their economic growth has been exceptional. On the other, the country's economic inequality is astonishing. Wow, 28% of total income is generated among 1%.
No, sounds similar to everywhere else.
Well, according to this, it's one of the world's most unequal nations.
Yeah.
So, couple things Lucy wanted to point out is that the main thing is that due to our similarities with economists imposing kind of free market libertarian ideology, Chile is a good example of how to break away and build a third party. Chile was like Milton Friedman's libertarian experiment. Right? That's and also the difference is the student movement in Chile offered they marched for free college here, and it got channeled into the Bernie campaign and everyone ignoring the smaller marches. Yep. So what can we learn? First, we must never ignore one of the major cores of American populism, the student debt movement, like she just said, which not only brings together Americans of many different backgrounds, but was one of the key things that brought even our fraud squad into power. Nice.
Yep.
And I never use that language, but I will when I'm reading it, and I don't disagree with it necessarily. This would be a good time to state that a large march for student debt will take place in January, and many journalists are not advertising it because people don't fully understand its importance. Look at that. Hey, how about that? Yes, January 18th. Department of Education. Register at debtcollective.org. That's one thing we can.
Is that George Costanza's thing?
We can actually include, Lucy, is we can put a link, like right here, and link to the event so that people could sign up for it.
You can grab that link, put it in chat.
Sandra Fisher Varktech. I don't have it here, but it's.
I mean, you can right click that RSVP link, right?
No, it's embedded in a tweet. That's in a photo. She took a screen cap of a tweet.
What's the RSVP actionnetwork.org come up?
Oh, join us
up.
online,
It's a great day.
debtcollective.org. Just go to debtcollective.org and you'll be able to find the link.
Right, but what's that action? Oh, it's because it's a picture of a gotcha.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
So again, we must fully understand the student movement is not independent or completely separate from other movements like Medicare for all, racial justice, or housing inequality. It's simply the movement with the most energy behind it right now that plays to the basic needs of the youngest and most mobilization ready part of our population. And to this end, we must stop being picky about the fact that not everyone cares about student debt. Understand that the most sweeping changes will result from the most massive mobilizations, and a lot of people actually do care about student debt, and I'd even challenge
and I
that.
think it's,
but yeah,
right. I think a lot of us, at least, you know, like especially in this like independent political space, right? Like we're kind of all hands in every problem right now, you know.
mm-hmm.
So work gets spread a little thin when we're only like, 20 people, like all together. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we'll get shit. We'll get people. People cover stuff.
Yeah, no, don't be
So-
sorry, Lucy. This is awesome. I mean, this is your first Substack, and
Oh yeah, you're great.
you did fucking
She was
awesome.
just sorry she didn't put the link. I think.
I know what she meant. She's all good.
Yeah.
We got it. And I can even put in here, and you can actually put it in the chat now because I gave you mod access, so you can put the link in however you want. So, in
If
other
you still
words,
have it.
yeah, her final thing is that we must stop tone policing the Latin American left and understand that our responsibility lies in fixing the problems created in our own country, with the understanding that the majority of our population, just like in Chile, doesn't even consider itself socialist or communist and is ideologically inconsistent, but has daily inconsistent hardships where most people agree that there is a need for real change. And just like Chile, it is not necessary for us to take on specific leftist labels, and Reef will tell you, like he says every day. Go ahead.
Yeah, labels are bad.
Thank
you.
Nor align ourselves with leftist countries, but rather explain the need for specific changes like sweeping electoral reform, debt cancellation, and an economic reform in a way that's understood by our own people. In other words, instead of simulating the squad by demanding radicalism in language, a strongly worded letter, we should be more radical in action. And I think, as hopefully they don't start locking us down again, but that's kind of their plan. We need to get out there. We need to get out in the streets. We need to get out and protest. We need to get out and be doing direct action and doing it collectively, using our voice. But bravo. I was going to say Mazel Tov, as David Packman would say, Mazel Tov there.
Right. Why would we do that when we can just start calling the entirety of Latin America Latinx now? Why would we possibly listen to them instead of try to white-splain to an entire group of people? But
Angel has a whole Angel had a whole thing about Latinx for sure.
Yeah.
So this is Lucy's Substack so far. This is just the beginning of it. There may be more, there may not be. I don't know, but she's also a member of the Indie News Network. She's great, so definitely hook her up. And subscribe here at bmrw.substack.com. Also to her YouTube channel, and she can put a link to that in the channel.
Well, you better get hip to indie left, indie left, indie left.news.